Hello, welcome to Spiritual Revelations Tarot. Today's reading, I was just trying to think about what this reading should be about. So I decided to just let Spirit talk. All right. Spirit, what messages do you have for your children here on earth? What messages do you have for your children here on earth? Messages from Spirit. What does Spirit want us to know today? What's coming for the people here on earth today? Okay, triumph came out today. Spirit wants us to know that. Okay, clarify triumph. Who's triumphing here, Spirit? Who is triumphing here? Which side of the fence, babe? Spirit. Triumph. Recognition and reward. Somebody is going to triumph in recognition and reward. And there will be emotional withdrawal. All right, let me see. What other deck can I use here? Let's use this deck. Spirit. Now I'm going to use clarify triumph. Who is triumphing here? Who is going to triumph in this situation, whatever Spirit is trying to tell us? Spirit, clarify triumph. Who is this triumphing? Okay, it's the mystery. No, somebody who has mastered. This is a person who has mastery. They mastered because of their dedication to your craft is paying off. Focus on improving your skills and refining your work. This is a time to build something meaningful and lasting through persistence. So, whoever this person is, they have mastered the skill of persistence. And Spirit wants them, or whoever is triumphing in this situation, to refine your work. Refine it how, Spirit? How? Refine your work. Restrict. I asked how. And Spirit says restriction. Restriction. You may feel trapped in limiting beliefs or external circumstances. The way forward lies in shifting your perspective. Trust in your strength to break free and move toward empowerment. All right. Break free. Spirit. What should we break free from? Break free from what, Spirit? Break free from our perspective. All right, break free from our perspective. On what situation, Spirit? Break free from our perspective. Someone is triumphing because they mastered the skill of persistence. And Spirit wants you to focus on improving your skills and refining your work. I said, well, how do I refine my work? Spirit says, there's something you're not seeing with this mask over your eyes. This is like the Eight of Swords. You are refusing to see what is shown to you. However, your mind is trying to tell you something. Your mind is... All right, we all know that we can see without seeing, right? Although we may have a mask over our eyes, we don't want to believe what we are seeing. We don't want to believe the reality of what is happening. But our minds, our perspectives, is trying to tell us what we are failing to see. Okay, what are we failing to see, Spirit? We are trying to master our skill, but we are failing to see something. What are we failing to see, Spirit? What are we failing to realize? We are failing to see the reflection. Okay, this looks like the Hermit. We are failing to see the reflection. This is a time for introspection and solitude. Step away from the noise and connect with your inner wisdom. Answers will emerge when you focus inward. Trust that this pause will bring clarity and help you align with your higher purpose. All right. Next card, completion. Something has ended. You have reached a significant milestone, celebrating the end of a cycle and the start of a new one. Reflect on your achievements and embrace the limitless possibilities ahead. Completion brings fulfillment and endless potential. All right, so someone has triumphed because they mastered the skill of persistence. Spirit wants you to refine your skills. And Spirit wants you to take off the blindfold and see the reality of what your mind can produce. All right, that's why that mask is over your eyes. And Spirit says you may feel trapped by limiting beliefs. The way forward lies in shifting your perspective. All right. So you're failing to see reality because you're in your mind trying to shift your perspective. That's why you have your blindfold on. Because with that mask over your eyes allows you to go into inward and reflect on your inner wisdom. That's what that card is. I don't think this card right here, reflection, restriction, means you're failing to see something. I think this person is restricting themselves by having a mask over their eyes so that they can change their perspective. That mask over their eyes allows them to go inward to reflect what's going on within them. And that is why the hermit restriction, solitude came up. Because when we have that mask over our eyes, we don't want to see the reality of of situations because we are reflecting inward when that mask is over our eyes. Inward. And Spirit says, when we go inward, we will find the answers that we seek. And Spirit says, it's completed. And that you have reached a significant milestone, celebrating the end of a cycle. So somebody is going to triumph because they mastered their skill, but Spirit wants them to refine their work. This is a time to build something meaningful and lasting through persistence. So someone out here was triumphed because they were persistent. They went inward to change their perspective. They restricted themselves in order to turn inward with that mask on. To change their perspective so that they can reflect through introspection and solitude to come up to find the answers that they seek in a world that has ended. That's what this is. This card is the world card, and it says completion. Something ended. The world ended. Or your perspective of the world has ended. It has completed. So someone found the answers. Okay. Let's take a look at the recognition here. Clarify recognition and renewal, Spirit. Okay, this card fell out. Prosperity, recognition, and renewal. The card that came out is prosperity. We have in this card right here, we have someone with bowing down. Their head is bowed down as though they are worshiping someone. And prosperity came out for recognition and renewal. And this person is sitting in the chair with their head staring at the stars. And there's one big, large star up in the sky. Now, this person with a crown on their head is facing the stars, and their eyes are closed. Their eyes are closed in this image with their head facing up to the stars. This person appears to be dreaming of prosperity. You embody material success and lead with confidence. Your wisdom and generosity inspired growth in others. And this person is sitting in a chair, resting, with their eyes closed, with their face toward the stars. Head is down as though they are worshiping. Head is up, dreaming of prosperity and success. So someone, okay, let's see. Spirit, we already clarified renewal, recognition and renewal. Who is this person worshiping, Spirit? Who is the person in recognition and renewal? Who are they bound down to, Spirit? Who are they bound down to in worshiping? Wow. Who are they bound down to in worshiping? And this card came out. Okay, someone is moving forward. Passion and energy are driving you forward. You are to take bold action toward your goals. Stay focused, but be cautious of rushing into decisions without planning. Use this momentum wisely to achieve success. And the image on this card appears to be a fire sign riding on a horse with their wand, forging forward toward success. Okay, so I'm going to take it that someone is worshiping God and they're dreaming of prosperity while sitting in his chair with their face gazing at that toward the stars. Their eyes are closed, so this person is dreaming of prosperity, embodying material success, and dreaming of moving forward as a leader of having confidence and wisdom. So this person is moving forward. Okay. Spirit, clarify emotional withdrawal. Why is emotional withdrawal here if... Okay, emotional withdrawal here. Someone, I guess in the future, is going to go through an emotional withdrawal. And the card that came out is struggle. But someone I see here went from praying and dreaming to triumph, mastery, triumph because they mastered their skill and went within to find they found the answers they sought. And Spirit said, it's completed. All right. But now someone is in emotional withdrawal. They're struggling. Struggle, challenges may leave you feeling isolated. Right. You're isolated down here with the Eight of Swords, with your blindfold on, restricting yourself because you're trying to change your perspective. You're reflecting, going within to find your own answers, to find your answers through Spirit. And Spirit is telling you that a cycle is over. Okay, and that left someone in emotional withdrawal and struggle. Challenges leave you feeling isolated or unsupported. Help is closer than you think. Reach out for support. This moment will pass, bringing valuable lessons and strength. All right. What lesson was learned, Spirit? What was the lesson learned in this situation, Spirit? What was the lesson learned in this situation, Spirit? The lesson that was learned, you learned about emotions. Oh, wow. You learned about emotions. A new emotional beginning is unfolding And that's why we had the world card here. Spirit said that cycle ended. It's time for you to change your perspective. Spirit wants you to refine your skills. Refine your skills. Go inward to find the answers. But Spirit wants you to keep moving forward after you find your answer. But the cycle has completed. And because that cycle completed, someone is in emotional withdrawal. They're struggling because the challenges that this person has gone through, left them in isolation. Right here, the Hermit. You're still in isolation although the cycle completed. Spirit wants you to move forward. You are depressed, struggling, feeling isolated and unsupported. And I asked Spirit, what was the lesson learned? Because this card, this moment will pass. Spirit is telling you, bringing valuable lessons and strength. So Spirit is saying, you're in this struggle because you were supposed to learn a lesson. What was that lesson? Emotion. This card is emotion. The bird flying, a dove. Dove representing, I guess, a renewal. A new emotional beginning is unfolding. Open your heart to love, joy, and connection. This is a time of healing and renewal, where feelings flow freely. Trust in the abundance of emotional and spiritual fulfillment. All right? So, Spirit wants you in this struggle to open your heart. And the lesson you learned about yourself. You learned about your emotions. And you learned how to control your emotions. That means that you're no longer in a state of reaction because you learned how to control your emotions. You don't react anymore because you learned and you mastered the skill of reflection. Wow. You know how someone may offend you and you instantly react to the situation, want to, fight or something? You want to argue? No. You learned how to control your emotions. You learned how to pick your battles. You learned how not to let people push your buttons. That's what you learned. And because of that, Spirit is handing you a cup. Spirit is handing you a new beginning. Spirit says that old cycle ended. Now, this does not, the cycle ended. I'm not talking about people. This does not mean that a cycle ended with someone. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a cycle in your life has ended because this is your experience, not another person's experience. This is your experience, and that's what that cycle has ended because you learned, because you persevered through the struggle, and you learned and went inward and learned about your own emotions. And Spirit is rewarding you through your struggle, through your isolation, through your inward reflection. Spirit is rewarding you a cup of love once you opened your heart. You learn to open your heart. And how do you think, open your heart how? What does it mean, open your heart? You open your heart to see the other person. You open your heart, you see the people in your life. You see, that is what you call empathy. Empathy. Okay. What's at the bottom of the deck? We have stability. Spirit says stability. You are struggling multiple priorities. Balance and adaptability are key to maintaining harmony. And how do we maintain harmony? You may ask. By controlling our emotions, by controlling our actions. Balance and adaptability are key to maintaining harmony. Stay grounded as you manage your commitments. Note the question. Note what it says here. As you manage your commitment. It's not telling anybody else to manage your commitments. Nobody else's commitment. This is talking about you, because we realize that we do not control anybody else. We only control ourselves, right? Stay grounded as you manage your commitments and trust in your ability to find equilibrium. Right. So Spirit says you mastered it. You mastered your skill. You know how to go inward to find your answers. And you know that a cycle has completed because in that struggle, you learned how to control your emotions. And that control of your emotions made you stable, grounded. To a point where nobody can fuck with you no more because you stable. People cannot irritate you. People cannot irritate you. Oop. Okay. People cannot irritate you. Why? Because you transformed. An ending is clearing the way for renewal. Cycle has ended. You have transformed. You know what I believe is that these psychiatrists and everything, they already got everybody mapped out. You're already been mapped out from infancy all the way up to the elderly. And that is called stages of development. They already know once an infant is born, the changes that they go through to get to the toddler stage. They already know how you're going to act at that stage. Then what's the next stage? You get to teenage or young adult stage where people already know how they act. Then you get to adulthood and they already know how you're going to act. They already know. And you as an individual, you feel yourself when you go through each change of life. And people already know how you're going to act. So who doesn't know how they're going to act? You, the person. Society already got you figured out. And spirit is trying to get you to figure out yourself. So society already know you, but you don't know yourself. Because this is your first life experience. And it's time for you to learn who you are. And when you learn who you are, and that is when doors start to open. New cycles begin. All right. All right, so let me see. Let me conclude this. I was rambling today, but I think the cards told us exactly what was going on. All right. Spirit, I'm still reading from the bottom of the deck. We got transformation. You went through a transformation. Spirit says celebrate. Celebrate. Celebrate the success and recognitions are within reach, Spirit says. Your hard work is paying off and others are taking notice. Celebrate your achievements, but stay grounded. All right? Stay grounded. Don't let stuff get to your head because you discovered something. Stay grounded. This moment is a reminder that perseverance leads to triumph. Isn't that something? So we started out with the first card, triumph. And Spirit says you triumphed it because you persevered. And Spirit says celebrate. Celebrate your hard work. Celebrate your achievements. But stay grounded. This moment right now is a reminder that perseverance leads to triumph. As long as you keep moving forward, persevere, you are going to triumph in any situation that you persevere in, and that aspiration, new opportunities arise as you develop skills and pursue meaningful goals. All right, so you persevered and triumphed and completed your goals. And that is why the cycle has ended. Your cycle has ended. This don't have nothing to do with nobody else. It only is in regard to you, your cycle of life, not what you're going through with anybody else. It's your cycle of life. It is your development from infancy all the way up to old age. It's talking about the cycles that each individual develop into. So, the cycles are infancy, toddler, teenage, young adult, an adult, mid life, moving toward old age. These are the cycles that Spirit is talking about. Not cycles with people. Your cycle through life. And I think I ended right there. Okay? And this is Spiritual Revelations Tarot. If you enjoyed or resonated with this reading, please press the thumbs up, and I will see you in the next reading. This was truly a revelation. Bye.